Hello, it's John Heaton, and this evening I'm going to review another Bob Dylan album. I was delighted to pick this up on vinyl yesterday, 2006's classic album Modern Times. It's released in 2006 and it's 63 minutes long, so this vinyl version is 180 gram and much nicer to see the cover art in this larger scale, produced by Jack Frost, a pseudonym for Bob, and a nice gatefold with an alternate picture there to the one that appears in the CD. And nice pictures, and the label Columbia. Yet to play this, but very happy to have it on vinyl because I didn't get it at the time. I've never had this album on vinyl, and it's an important album in Bob's catalogue as far as I'm concerned. This is the other one. This front cover is a Ted Croner picture from 1947 entitled Taxi New York at Night, and it's on display in some museum in New York, but as I say, much more effective to see that vinyl size versus the CD cover. So when this album came out, it was the first album since 2001's Love and Theft, which was also a strong album. I think this one is stronger, but his first real return to form had been in 1997 with Time Out of Mind. And you take that album, Love and Theft, and this album, and you've got a pretty brilliant trilogy. And I would say personally that Bob Dylan has probably come up with more strong music in his latter years than any other major artist. And I really mean that. When the album came out, it mostly got great reviews. Robert Christgau, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, described it as startling and radiating the observant calm of old masters who have seen enough life to be ready for anything. But there were a couple of negative ones, and I'll just read you them out for balance. It's hard to hear the music on Modern Times over the inevitable standing ovation and the thuds of middle-aged critics swooning in awe. And then another one, these are not representative, I'm just reading you two negative ones because they're faintly amusing, I suppose. A wildly overhyped disappointment. The new album is possibly the worst since Self-Portrait, with songs that rarely rise above the level of Dylan's low point, and everybody seems afraid to say so. This guy cannot have done his, Ron Rosenbaum cannot have done his homework, because to say it's the worst album since Self-Portrait is ludicrous. And what about all those mid-80s albums like Empire Burlesque and Knocked Out Loaded and Down in the Groove? And the covers albums he came out with were okay, but this was a real return to form in my opinion, and is a 5-star album. Not every track is brilliant, but there's enough highlights on here to make it a 5-star album in my opinion, because when it's good it is absolutely top-notch Dylan. So by the way, there was a bit of controversy over some of the songs. It says all songs written by Bob Dylan, and a lot of people carped on about the fact that he'd borrowed a tune or two from the old days, from stuff which probably had run out of copyright by the time this album was recorded, and that's maybe true, but who cares? I'll point out one similarity when I come to it. So the album starts off with Thunder on the Mountain, and just what a great way to start. By the way, this band, along with Bob, who's playing harmonica, guitar, piano and vocals, Tony Garnier on bass, who is still in the touring band to this day, along with George Retzelli on drums, percussion, still in the touring band. Sue Kimball, on guitar, who is still in the touring band. Denny Freeman, who was in the touring band up until 2010, I think, and then Donny Heron on steel guitar, violin, viola, mandolin, still in the touring band. So he's stuck with this bunch of people more or less for the last 10 years or so, and some of them have been with him previously as well. So Thunder on the Mountain, an outstanding opener, and I'll just read you some of the whole album opens with a great verse. Thunder in the mountain. Thunder on the mountain, and there's fires on the moon. A ruckus in the alley, and the sun will be here soon. Today's the day, gonna grab my trombone and blow. Well, there's hot stuff here, and it's everywhere I go. Verse after verse like that, really full of imagery in great Dylan tradition. Gonna raise me an army, some tough sons of bitches. Gonna recruit my army from the orphanages. I've been to St. Herman's Church, said my religious vows. I've sucked the milk out of 1,000 cows. I got the pork chops, she got the pie. She ain't no angel, and neither am I. Shame on your greed, shame on your wicked schemes. I'll say this, I don't give a damn about your dreams. Just a wonderful opener. And there's also an amusing reference to Alicia Keys in this song as well, which apparently she was quite happy about. So a very strong opener, very well played by the band, kind of rollicking, fast tempo, shuffle number, and then Spirit on the Water is next, and this is more kind of skiffle, if I was to use a genre to describe this song. And okay, it may be derivative of something or other, but it's just got a wonderful feel and some great lyrics from Dylan. He's showing his sense of humour on this song. You think I'm over the hill, you think I'm past my prime. Let me see what you got. We can have a whopping good time. So I like that song, and I particularly like the feel of the band on this one. And then Rolling and Tumbling is the next one. And maybe this is a bit too similar to the opener, and it's a bit kind of repetitive maybe, not the strongest on the album, there's nothing wrong with it. Interesting words again. And the next one is a tearjerker, heartbreaking song called When the Deal Goes Down, and it's about mortality. And we nearly played this at a good friend of mine's, Dave Bloomfield, when he passed away. We were planning the funeral with me, and his brother was planning it, and I suggested, we agreed that a Dylan song should be played, and we nearly chose this one, and then he ended up choosing Forever Young. But whenever I listen to this song, I think of Dave, and it's just brilliant. Well, the moon gives light, and it shines by night, when I scarcely feel the glow. We learn to live, and then we forgive. Oh, the road we're bound to go. More frailer than the flowers, these precious hours that keep us so tightly bound. You come to my eyes like a vision from the skies, and I'll be with you when the deal goes down. And then later on, in this earthly domain, full of disappointment and pain, you'll never see me frown. I owe my heart to you, and that's saying it true, and I'll be with you when the deal goes down. It's just an all-time Dylan classic. I absolutely adore this song. Next up we have Someday Baby, which is not that memorable. Again, it's a little bit generic and repetitive and similar to Rolling and Tumbling, and so out of those three kind of shuffle numbers on the side one, Thunder on side one and two of the vinyl here, Thunder on the Mountain is easily the strongest. Those other two are okay, but not up to the same level. Then we turn over, or we go to side three of the vinyl, and we have another Dylan all-time classic called Workingman's Blues, number 2. And I love all the verses of this song, and the chorus, meet me on the bottom, don't fall behind, don't lag behind. bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, sing a little bit of those working man's blues. And the tune is just superb on this. The musicianship of the band is brilliant, and I think Bob's playing piano on this because there's some fairly accomplished piano on this song, and there's no other person credited for playing piano on this record, so I guess it's Bob. Beyond the Horizon is a lovely, laid-back song, kind of 40s style. You know, may have borrowed it from somewhere or other. Don't really care. It's a lovely atmospheric song with some nice, tender words. About the closest to a love song you get, maybe, on this album. And then Nettie Moore is a atmospheric song. Not the best, but it's pretty decent, and the verses are kind of reminiscent of Man in the Long Black Coat from Oh Mercy, I think. And it's kind of sung well by Bob in his kind of husky, mysterious voice. And then moving to side 4 of the vinyl, When the Levee's Gonna Break. The Levee's Gonna Break. And I read that this might be based on some blues song, and if it's the same song as that When the Levee Breaks from Led Zeppelin, doesn't sound anything like it. But I guess a lot of these blues type or shuffle type songs have probably got similar chord structures and stuff, so it's probably derivative. But very, very good use of the repetition of the title of the song from Bob on this, and the guitar note, which I don't know who plays it, but very effective, and some religious imagery on this one. If the rain, where is it? The rain don't stop. If it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. If it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. Everybody's saying this is a day only the Lord could make. So that's not the only religious reference on this album. So it's full of kind of, you know, Dylan's great lyrics, and a lot of the songs are full of it. And Ain't Talking is a very spooky closer, with a haunting tune and some haunting words, and I don't suppose they are autobiographical, because if they are, it's pretty troubling. I'm sure they aren't. It's kind of maybe Bob, you know, taking a theme and going with it. One of the verses, "Now I'm all worn down by weeping. My eyes are filled with tears, my lips are dry. If I catch my opponents sleeping, I'll just slaughter them where they lie." That's pretty gruesome stuff. Kind of sounds a bit Game of Thrones-ish or something. So anyway, this album, 4 or 5 songs which are up there with the best in Dylan's career, in my opinion. And he would continue to put out good stuff after this, and but particularly this album and Time Out of Mind, I think, are 2 latter-day classics worth checking out from Bob, who's just recently been awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, which he thoroughly deserves. Thank you for watching. See you next time.